Alright, this is take two. I was a little bit scatterbrained on my last video. So this is a little bit harder to talk about the topics here. It kind of jumps around all the place in SQL Lab 3. So I think this first video I'm kind of going to give an overview of like how you should approach doing the lab. And then in subsequent videos, I'm just going to maybe really what I'm going to do is talk about for about 5 or 6 minutes at a time and then break it up and then name it in an appropriate way. So let's just start with the basic instructions for doing Lab 5. Download this Word document and follow these instructions. You'll put your name at the top. And then you'll notice like throughout this document there will be like, are they all highlighted? Maybe highlighted, and there's a lot of bold too. You're going to paste answers into your Word document and submit the Word document. The way I suggest in my last video approaching this was this way. I don't know if you've learned this yet. I know you the lab talks about it here. You've got your SQL, right? That's a standard language that's more or less the same, though there are dialects or slight differences between like MySQL and Oracle, which both are owned by the same company these days. And then there's SQL Server and Postgres and like all the different SQLs. They should try to adhere to the standard. Then there's this extra stuff in each DBMS, each database management system. So Oracle has something called SQL Plus. These are things that like other companies wouldn't recognize, but it will work within a SQL, within an Oracle database. So here you've got these commands: set echo on, set define off. And you can look and see what these do down here. I don't even remember all myself, but I know set echo on will repeat back to you in the output window the commands that you type. So here's how I recommend starting this. Download this Word document, put your name at the top, make sure you know where it is, and then do this. Copy these commands here, just because you're so told to use them, and paste them in to a tab, a window that you've got started, and then do this. Have a separate one or two, however many windows you need really, a separate worksheet window where as you go through the lab, type in the commands and then like edit and like retype and rerun or whatever until it works. Now this first one's really straightforward. You just have to copy and paste, select sysdate from dual, right? But regardless, type it in a separate worksheet window, run it, make sure it works, and then go back. Actually copy the contents of that. Go back to your main tab and paste in. And what I also suggest is numbering these things using comments. So comment, I can't remember if you've been taught this yet in SQL Developer, but it's 2 dashes, 2 minus signs. And it'll make everything a comment for the rest of that row. In other words, the DBMS Oracle will ignore it, but it's only there for human eyes to read. So this was number 5 in the Word document. I think, let's look. Number 5 is this command. So what you do, make sure it works in that separate worksheet, and then over here, type --5 just to help you keep track of which command this is. And then save it. Click save, and mine's already got a name. I should show you a different one. Let me go to this tab and save it, and it should come up with a prompt to rename it. If it's got like the default name, it'll ask you to rename it. So here's Oracle Home ~2.SQL. You can change that name. And what I changed it to, this is the wrong one actually. I've got it as Lab 8. It should be SQL Lab 3. Name it like SQL Lab 3.SQL. And then as you get to each part of your lab, test it out in the separate worksheet and then paste it into the main tab. With, like for instance, once you get to this one where you get the alter table command that you're going to do, go over here, do alter table. I can't remember what all it does. Let's actually run it. What's the worst that could happen? I think I might already have this one actually. Let's see. Copy and paste, put it in here, run it. Looks like I did actually alter it. And then once it looks like you think you got it right, take it over here. This will be --6, and then you add it. And what I recommend is do each one of these things at a time, one at a time, make sure they work, and then at the end run the whole thing, which may or may not work. It depends on what you're doing. So I've already altered the table. If I alter it again, pray I don't alter it further. So I've already altered it. So you can't really do what I'm asking you to do, actually, because it already exists the way you've already done the alter. So what you want to do is go back here, make sure you've got in your different worksheets or whatever, make sure you have these things on in those two, and then get the output and show it. Paste it in at the right place. So what do you need here? What's the exact data type? So in this case, you don't have to actually show the output. You just have to answer the questions. And then you just do a describe on your table to see what the difference is, and so on. So I think I'll stop there, and we'll do the next video where I'll talk more detail about these things here.